Hi everyone, so before I jump into today's ZIIP Halo review and NuFace comparison, I'm going to start with the before and after results, pictures and videos because I am so impressed with them. Normally I would save these till the end, but I wanted to start with this before we jump into the full ZIIP Halo review, benefits, the difference between my NuFace and my ZIIP Halo, how to get the most out of it, how to use the app, the programs I recommend, and all of that stuff. I'm going to share with you the before and afters because it's not just me that's noticed it in 4 weeks. I've actually had other people comment on it. So one of my friends asked me what I've been doing with my skin because they said it looked more glowing. My mum, after I used this for 10 days in California, so I was in California when I first started using this, so they're on a 10-day trip taking my cat for radiation therapy. When I came back, my mum was like, what did you do to your skin? The only thing had been the ZIIP Halo. So definitely huge differences. And then I sent my before and after pictures at 4 weeks to my husband and my best friend. And I just said, I'm really happy with before and after results after 4 weeks. They're subtle, but I noticed them. My husband was like, wow, definite difference. My girlfriend was like, what did you have done? She thought it had an in-office procedure. So it's not just me that's noticing the results, other people are as well, which is pretty crazy after 4 weeks. So no, it's not going to be surgery. It's not Botox, but I definitely noticed a difference. So I'm going to kind of break it down in case it's hard for you to see because it is kind of subtle unless you really, really know me. I am going to do a lot of crazy face movements during this. So you know I haven't had Botox. It's still all moving there. So first off, what I noticed the most is it feels pretty smooth and even, the texture. Yes, I've got makeup on. That's why I did the before and after pictures and videos without, because I feel like you can cheat a lot with makeup, right? I could make my cheeks look more contoured and my nose look more contoured and my eyes look less hooded by putting more white in the middle on the lower lid. So that's why I'm doing that without makeup, but I don't like being on camera all the time without makeup, however vain that seems. So the biggest thing I notice is around the crow's feet and the hooded eyelids. So when I smile, they're still there. It's not Botox, but they are so much less than before. I feel like my forehead looks pretty smooth. Obviously, when I'm moving, it gets makeup also settled in the fine lines. It still looks better. But for me, it's the hooded eyes. I've had so much improvement. So my worst eye is this side for the hooded eyelid. I feel like it's evened them out quite well. I've been doing the eye lift a lot and the brow lift a lot in the app, and I'll get to my favorite treatments on the app in a bit. But that is where I'm seeing it. I feel like my right eyelid, which is your left if you're looking at me, is so much less hooded. It's still hooded. I haven't had a brow lift, but it's less hooded. You can actually see my lower lid now, whereas before it was almost touching the lash lines. And that's why I say I'm actually addicted to the ZIIP Halo, because other things I loved, like the NuFace, don't get me wrong, I loved using it, but you can't feel the microcurrent, you're not supposed to. This you can actually feel. So because I feel it working and it does give that instant effect as well as the long-term effects of the collagen production, that's what makes me use it. I love feeling the little tingle. I'm like, oh, it must be doing something. So it's definitely an addictive tool. I use it pretty much every day, 5 to 6 times a week as they recommend. I probably won't even reduce it to 2 to 3 times a week just because I really enjoy using it. So let's get to the actual ZIIP Halo review. I'm going to start with the benefits of it, comparing it to NuFace and my very first treatment. I got my hands on the ZIIP Halo microcurrent facial toning device. So I'm excited to share this with you today. I'm going to do a review before, after, share the difference between this and the NuFace because I absolutely love my NuFace device. So it was definitely a hard switch to move over to this. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on which I think is better and why. First off, when I got asked to review the ZIIP Halo device, I was like, why? How is it better to my NuFace device? I absolutely love that. I'm obviously not going to use both. What are kind of some unique aspects to it? What are the benefits? What's going to make me want to change? So what I was told was, instead of just using the one waveform that NuFace does, which is the microcurrent that we all know and love, it uses dual waveform technology, and that's a nanocurrent and a microcurrent. So why does that matter? What does that actually even mean? There is a really good review. If you want to know more about microcurrents and nanocurrents and how they actually work on a cellular level, definitely look up some doctors' videos on that. I'm not going to go into that. I'm not a doctor. I'm going to go into what I actually see and felt with this and kind of the pros and cons, how time consuming it is, and all of that stuff. So similar to NuFace, I'm going to get to the differences in comparison in a little bit. So some of the benefits of the ZIIP Halo are very similar to the NuFace in that it's supposed to target multiple skin care issues, problems, and find solutions to those. So one of those is obviously to lift and tone. It's a bit like a workout for the face. Another one is to tighten the skin by encouraging collagen production. So maybe if you have saggy jowls, you can get in there and really help to try and tighten all of that area. And they do have targeted treatments with this, and I'll get to that later when I talk about the app and all the different treatments it does. It has things for the eyes, for a brow lift, for the jawline, as well as the full facial treatments. So one of the things that makes this different we talked about is the nanocurrent. So what does that kind of do? The nanocurrent is what's responsible for the glow, which it says takes about 6 weeks to work, and it's what's dubbed the halo effect, hence the name ZIIP Halo. It is also supposed to smooth, plump, and depuff thanks to kind of the lymphatic drainage massage you're getting by using this. But it's really the length of the effects that set this apart. So the ZIIP website says the dual waveforms create immediate results and lasting benefits that get better over time. And honestly, I was dubious about how good this was going to be and the actual benefits of it, because it sounded like it was trying to do too much. And I really like my NuFace. I've had great results for it. I feel like I get a really good jaw contour, a cheek contour. So I was kind of dubious, but in saying that, it should be even better because it has a stronger microcurrent and it has the nanocurrent. So in my head now, I'm starting to put together things like, okay, this should actually work better than my NuFace. So the microcurrent on this is the one that you can feel. It's the one that's supposed to create immediate results because it basically makes the muscles contract a lot, giving it like a facial workout. And you're supposed to be able to see the effects of the microcurrent for up to 72 hours. Now, the nanocurrent is what works on the cellular level. It's the one that you can't feel. So I was kind of like, is it actually working? Because I can't feel it. That's where trust and time giving this to give it a chance to work comes into play, because it's the nanocurrent that's supposed to blur the fine lines and wrinkles, reduce puffiness and even out your skin tone. And it's the nanocurrent that has the long-term effect. So it says it takes about 6 weeks to get that glow, to get the halo effect from your ZIIP microcurrent device. So of course the website is going to talk about all the benefits. It's going to be hyping it up because it's designed to sell, but does it actually work? What are the results from this? So I'm going to take you through this. So I don't have Botox. Let me move that because when I say that, people don't believe me. My forehead does move. I do have wrinkles. So we're going to put this to the test. So the benefits of ZIIP Halo are very similar to your NuFace device, except that it's supposed to be longer lasting because of that nanocurrent and to give you more of that glow. And timeline wise, how long can you expect to wait to see the results? So they say in 0 to 24 hours, you should see a more lifted and contoured look because of the immediate effect of the microcurrent. 25 to 48 hours, you're supposed to see brighter skin. After 7 days, an increased lift. And then after 6 weeks, their halo effect, more glowing skin. So the main differences between your ZIIP Halo device and your NuFace device are going to be microcurrent only, microcurrent and nanocurrent. The other thing is the shape and size of them. So this is a NuFace Mini, and as you can see, it's still quite a lot bulkier than that. I also find this is just so easy to hold in your hands versus this one. On both of them, you need to have both of the silver spheres in contact with your skin to create that electrical circuit and to have it working. So size-wise, the reason I like this one more is it's easier to travel with because it's smaller. I just feel like it's more portable and lighter. And my mum tried them both as well, and she just found this one easier to use. So I feel like there is a bit of a learning curve on how you hold and use the ZIIP Halo versus the NuFace. The NuFace was very just easy. You knew what you were doing. You got in there. This one, you kind of have to get into a bit of a knack on how you want to hold it, maneuver it, twist it. But it doesn't matter which way's up, as long as the two spheres are in contact with your skin. So I'm not going to touch my skin because I don't want to smear all of my makeup. So treatment-wise, they're quite similar. They both have apps. I find both of the apps are very similar design. I find them both very easy to use. I do like that on this one, there are different time length plans. I started with the 30-day plan. I will get to that. But they both offer full facials. They both offer targeted treatment areas. Feeling wise, I can feel the microcurrent on the ZIIP Halo, and because it changes intensity depending on the treatment you're using, some you're like, wow. It doesn't matter how much of something like this, you need to use the serum with it. I'll get to that, to conduct the electricity. It doesn't matter how much you use, you can sometimes feel a bit of a zing. With nanocurrent, there's no feeling whatsoever. Sometimes it gets a bit warm. With the NuFace, it says you shouldn't be able to feel the microcurrent ever. If you do, you need to apply more serum. If you can feel it with this, it's kind of the current bouncing off of your skin. So that's kind of very different sensation-wise as well. But I kind of feel I really like feeling it because I feel like it's doing something then, and then I don't mind spending time doing it. Difference in the serums. There is a big difference in the serum. So I've tried both of the NuFace serums. The only thing I find with that, a bit like the Solawave serum, is when you're doing the treatment, they do dry out. So I was doing a section at a time, doing that area. reapplying to the next section, moving on, applying to the next section. Otherwise it was drying out and I was getting through so much serum. I find this serum, they do have 5 serums. It comes with this one, which is a ZIIP Electric Complex Gel. It's $25, so also a lot cheaper than the NuFace serums. Although they do go all the way up to $129, I want to say, dollars for their different serums. So you can either choose to use something like this, which is just going to conduct the electricity. It's not going to have any skincare benefits, or you can use one of their serums if you want more benefits for it. I'm sticking to the plain one because I like my original serums. And also you have to wash this off anyway afterwards. So it doesn't matter if it's got any benefits, it's so short-lived. So I'd recommend sticking to the cheapest one. But in saying that, this is a lot greasier than the NuFace ones. NuFace ones dry out, have skincare benefits, are more expensive. This one, you have the cheaper option. It doesn't dry out, but no skincare benefits unless you pay for the more expensive ones. Now, they are both programmed with automatic programs. They're 4-minute, 5-minute, instant facelift, whatever you want to call it, the lift, the 5-minute facelift. So the ZIIP Halo one is 4 minutes. Your NuFace is going to be 5 minutes. And they're the treatments you get if you just turn it on without syncing to the app. The amount of times you use the devices and for how long also differs because of the nanotechnology, which creates a longer lasting effect. So the ZIIP you use 3 to 5 times a week, a maximum of 6 times a week when you're first getting started on something like the 30-day program. And then for the long term, to maintain the results, you're going to use it 2 to 3 times a week. On the NuFace, you're going to use it 5 times a week for 5 to 20 minutes at a time, again, for the first 30 to 60 days until you get the results you want. Then you're going to go back down to 2 to 3 days to maintain. So both of them in the end, you're going to use 2 to 3 times a week. If you're wondering how to know which program to start with, whether to just start with the automatic 4-minute one, whether to go in and play around with the programs, I'm going to suggest starting with the 30-day plan because that's the one I started with. 1, because it gets you into the habit and routine of using it. B, you don't have to think about how many times a week you're using it because it schedules your days off for you. And the third reason being you get to try all of the treatments. You get to try all of the targeted treatments, all of the full-length versions, sometimes a mixture of both. And I just think it's a really great way to get the best results you can out of your device for 30 days. After that, when I go back down to the 2 to 3 times a week, I'll probably just do the automatic 4-minute one. And then if I'm doing a photo shoot or if I'm filming for you guys, maybe I'll come in and do a cheeky under eye or brow lift or jaw contour just to get everything lifted and a bit of a glow. So with the 4-minute lift, the one it's automatically programmed. If you wanted to do that in front of the TV without connecting to the app, you can do that. It starts as soon as you turned it on and you have contact with your skin. It auto sets the frequency. You can't change the intensity. And basically, as long as you're working upwards and outwards and you've got both spheres in contact with your skin, it's that simple. Now, when it comes to the app, that's when you're going to get your full facials, your treatment plans, your targeted areas, and the intensity is going to vary automatically by the treatment plan you choose. So maybe if you're doing the eye area, it's going to be less intense because that's more fragile. My favorites so far have been the eye treatment and the brow lift because this lid is droopier than that lid. So I've been spending more time on that eyelid trying to pick it up and create some kind of lift on that side. So I've talked enough about the differences between the ZIIP Halo device and the NuFace device. If you have any more questions, drop them in the comments below. I've talked about the benefits, a little bit about the app. So I'm going to take you back to my very first time trying the ZIIP Halo device. Okay, so let's give the ZIIP Halo a go for the first time. I just want to show you this quickly just so you can see I don't have Botox. And you can see where all of my areas are. And yes, I did a really bad job of my self-tanner. I did it at 6 o'clock yesterday morning. Actually, it might be 5:30 when I was on my way to California. So it says to start with 4 to 6 pumps of their conductive serum. I'm using the one it came with, so that was free. It's a ZIIP Electric Complex Conductive Gel. I love this silver packaging. They do a few other ones as well that are more expensive if you want to upgrade your skincare, but I want to see how this one works. And actually, I really like my Dior serum. Anyway, so we're going to start with this. It says to apply it all over your face before you use your machine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's clear, it's quite runny, so this is going to spread on really quickly. Normally I use like 3, put it on the back of my hands and dab it all over. I think going forward, I'm going to put this in the palm of my hands. It doesn't smell. It feels a bit sticky, so I'm definitely thinking this is going to be a serum that you wash off and don't leave on. And in saying that, I don't with my NuFace either. I wash that off because it peels under makeup. That is quite sticky, so definitely get a towel afterwards to wipe your hands off on. And actually one of the things I like about that is the NuFace, I was doing a bit of serum at a time because it dries out very, very quickly, and then I was applying more and more and you get through your serum really quickly. So I'm hoping this is more a surface serum that's actually going to stay kind of hydrated the whole way through, and I'm not reapplying and using a load of serum, especially they're more expensive serums. Okay. So once it's on, you're going to want to turn on your ZIIP Halo, and there is on the bottom a little thing that says 1. You just press that until you see that kind of flash, beep, and a glow. Then I have the app installed on my phone, so you're going to want to install the app. Now I am going to do, there's so many plans on here, it's quite fun. I'm going to try and get it to not glare so much for you. There's lots of things you can do. There's an instant gratification, there's some spot treatments, always start with Learn Your Halo. I would definitely suggest doing that first. It's 3 minutes with the founder. She'll quickly go through and you can try the different microcurrent and nano currents in there and see and feel the difference between them. The device will automatically change. There's nothing on the device you need to do to change that. It changes intensity depending on the program and the face kind of lift and treatment you choose. So I am going at the bottom, there's treatments, plans, and shop. I'm going to go into plans. There is a 14-day plan. I'm going to jump straight into best skin of your life in 30 days because I want to do a 30-day review for you, because they say the ultimate results in 6 weeks, but we're going to see what we can get done in 30 days. And then I'll add on the 6-week review and pictures in the article afterwards. So we're going to start. So it sends treatment. You can hear it beeping here. And then it will just go, make sure to apply your conductive gel. It will talk you through the whole treatment. So for this treatment, we're going to be treating everything. And it starts on the neck, which is different to what I was doing with the NuFace. The NuFace I was doing kind of area at a time. I'm looking at this because this is my first time using this, so I'm trying to go. She is going a lot faster than I was doing my NuFace. And my NuFace I was just doing, oh, I can feel that tingling. I was just doing area at a time and doing 3 sweeps and a lot slower. It was basically doing 6 seconds in each area. Oh, and I can really feel that tingling. Now the difference between this is that when I was doing the NuFace, it was telling me to, if I felt the tingling, I wasn't using enough serum, so I was adding more on. This one, she's okay, and you actually lift the eyebrow there. Just being able to feel that. She says you should be able to feel that unless you're doing the nano. The nano technology, you don't feel as much. Oh, I really feel that in the hairline. It's almost too much. It is actually a lot stronger than the NuFace device, even stronger than their most powerful one. And they're getting right in there and giving that a lift and then a tingle all the way, and she's holding it in there. She said it really works the muscles. It's instant gratification. And I know when you're spending money on things, yes, it's great to have long-term effects and to see results after 30 days, but let's be fair, which of us don't want instant results, especially if you're going for a night out, just have a quick little lift. It's a bit like on a Friday night, whenever you went to the gym, it was always full of people, right, trying to get their Friday night pump on. I feel like this is the version for a facelift version of that, and why not? It's the one you see, right? It's the muscles you see. So I think the facial muscles get forgotten about a lot. We try and fix with makeup and all the other things and with products, but it is, they call it a face gym, and it is basically that. You're training and really getting the muscles kind of worked on the face. So she's saying this gives an overall lifting, and when you're pulling all the way up into this area, I do like that it's the upward motion, because I feel like that is very much what you're taught to do in massage, in lymphatic drainage, in kind of any kind of facial product kind of application. They really do kind of get you to do the upwards and outwards motion. And this is a 6.5 minute treatment, so it's not that long. There are loads of different ones. So basically, if you're doing the shorter ones, it's going to be more of a targeted one. This is the overall face, and I think it's one of those things you're going to get better and better at using. It is a lot daintier than the NuFace, so it is a lot easier to travel with. I do love the silver on it as well, and it is gliding, so I have not dried out at all using the NuFace serum. Oh, it just beeped, so I feel like it's going to be time to change sides. So you can actually, I'm sometimes wondering if it's placebo effect, if you can see a difference instantly or not. Okay, let's do the other side. I always find this side of my face so awkward. It's getting used to it. And let's try using my left hand. Obviously, you're going to avoid the center of the neckline. This is definitely harder coordinating for me. And I feel the microcurrent a lot stronger on this side than I did on the other side. You want to avoid the center of your neck as well. You want to avoid the thyroid area around there. And I can see in the video, she is using quite a lot of pressure. It's not dragging the skin necessarily because you've got so much serum on there. And she says to really work your way up, and she's getting into that nasolabial fold right there as well. And I can see her using a decent amount of pressure, moving this around. It will make more sense to you when you're able to follow the video yourself. I'm trying to follow the video for the first time and chat to you, so I might not be doing it absolutely perfectly. But it's actually quite relaxing. When I say I feel the microcurrent, there were times right at the beginning when it was a little bit almost too intense around the hairline. I feel like I am starting to get used to it. And she says, you want to get onto the chin, do here. I would be very careful where you do under here. Do not come down to the throat. Just move to the front of the back of the chin is what she's doing. So I'm not doing anything different to the video, but definitely avoid your throat area. Oh, see, she's got the knack of it. I can see her flipping it around in her hand. That's going to take some, I think the right hand is a lot easier for most of us unless you're left-handed. Just going to take some playing around with. You do want to make sure both spheres are attached to your face, the same as the NuFace at any one time. You can swap hands. I actually think I might just stick to using my right hand the whole time. The only downside though is if you pause the video, it doesn't pause the treatment, so your device will switch off before the video ends. And it just did a double beep, which makes me think we are done with the treatment. So that is the thing. Obviously it's not Botox, you're going to have more movement. The whole idea of this is to create that lift, to create that glow. I'm glowing right now just because of the serum, but I want to see if you get a natural glow over the use of the time. It says you've completed today's treatments, amazing job. Here's a look at what's coming up tomorrow. You can see what your next treatment is. So it says no treatments tomorrow. Now I'm doing it in the morning because what they're saying, when you're using, if you're using tretinoin or some kind of retinol, you shouldn't be using the retinol and then this or this and then the retinol at the same period of time. So don't do this in your nighttime routine the same time that you're going to do tretinoin. What they recommend doing is doing a retinol at night and then doing this the following morning. And I actually prefer doing this in the morning anyway. It's 6 minutes, it's not a huge amount more time. And the thing is, that way they're not kind of like, there's no interaction between them, and then your lift is there for the day. Rather than doing it at night and sleeping on it, you're ready and fresh for the day. So if you've got any kind of puffiness in the morning, it's going to help with that. So why not enjoy the benefits? I do want to, whilst we're here, because this is the one I'm interested in the most. My eye area is the worst and I kind of starting to get hooded eyelids. So I really want to try, I'm going to do the brow lift and the eye lift today because why not do them all together? And I have the time. So the eyes are 3 minutes, the brow lift is 3 minutes. The difference is the eyes are supposed to brighten and awaken tired looking eyes, and mine look pretty black right now. And the brow lift is to define and elevate and smooth out brow lines. Now mine aren't too crazy, I do squint in the sun and get them, but I do want to see if we can kind of get a little bit of a pick up in the eyebrow area. So let's give those a go. So obviously when you're doing the targeted treatment areas, you're going to want to make sure you've applied the conductive serum, especially in the areas you're going to treat, under the eyes, the eyelid, and just above. For this, I'm not applying more because I really like the fact that I haven't had to apply more. This has lasted the whole treatment, it hasn't dried out. So one of the things you want to make sure of is that your zip is turned on every time. It will turn off at the end of your treatment. So I've had to restart it before doing the eye treatment. You're also going to have to hit sync treatment, so it sends the treatment from your phone to the device. So you're going to go really gently around the eyes, especially so you don't drag. It's hard to tell one side of the face from the other from me because my right eye is a lot more hooded than the other. So I don't know if I just do one side of the face, if you're really going to see much more than if I just did one side and then the other. So maybe we will, maybe we'll see it evened out. Just use that vibration to remember to start a new stroke. It will time it for you. And then when you hear the beep, that is time to change sides. You can pause the treatment, so I do want to pause the treatment there just to see if we've seen any difference. So I feel like it's not like, whoa, this eyebrow's up here. I wasn't expecting that. I wanted to see if it evened out how hooded they are, and I think it's evened them out. So when I do, maybe I just need to do one side of my face, because when I do the other, this is going to become more lifted again. But I'm going to do both, because I think it's weird just to do a facial workout on one side of your face. It's like training one bicep, right? We're going to do both. So the founder, when she's doing this, does say you want to do some amount of pull, but not so much that you're creating a drag. So basically you want to use enough pressure for it to work, but not a lot. You're going to let the microcurrent do the work for you. The spheres aren't cold either, so don't worry about getting a cold, icy face. It's actually quite nice and warm. The other thing you can do with this is really personalize the treatment. So I really like the fact that I can either do kind of that cat eye effect and just work there, or I can go up onto the eyebrow and create kind of more of that lifted look, or just go between the two so you get the best of both worlds. You also can kind of use mirror in front of you or whatever you're looking at to try and make sure the eyebrows are staying even. So I'm probably going to spend more time on one side of my face, on that right side, than on this side, because that's the worst area. So I'm going to come back to this side just so I don't end up, I really want to try and even out the muscles. I don't want to end up really lopsided. And then it will do the double peep when it's over. It's a really quick, easy treatment. So that was the eyes. We're going to do the brows and see if there's much difference between either of those. And this is another 3-minute treatment. So let's give it a go. We're going to turn it on, get busy with this one. So this one, again, you're going to make sure you've got enough conductive gel across the top of the brows and the eyelid. So where the targeted brow treatment differs to the eye treatment is it really focuses on the brow and up, whereas the eye treatment kind of focuses on below the eye and then sweeps over the eyebrow. So this one, you do one side of the face at a time like you did with all the other treatments, and you basically do 3 micro holds. So you're going underneath the eyebrow, not too far down on the lids. Holding, you can go as quick or as slow as you like. The slower you go, the more intense the treatment is, and you only want to hold it up to 1 vibration. They say not to hold it longer than that, and then sweep around the top, not dragging down. So all the motions, all the pressure go upwards, not down. Okay, so that is, I did the 6-minute workout, I did the brows, and I did the eye lift on this session one, which is more than they said to do, but I really wanted to kind of jump in and try everything and see if we really saw a difference or not. So I don't think there's a huge difference after just the first treatment, but I'm going to throw the before and after up here just so we can decide for ourselves. But this is day 1, so I'm really interested to see after 30 days. I could definitely feel it, especially doing that brow. It was up all around here. I could really feel it the most. Anyway, I feel like I've done something good for myself. So the placebo's effect is I definitely feel like I did something for my skincare today. It is very, I used that for 3 different treatments. I did not have to reapply the serum. I'm definitely going to go and wash it off now and start my skincare from the beginning. Okay, so now I've had time using the ZIIP Halo. Is it a keeper for me? What are the pros and cons? So for me, it's definitely a keeper. Some of the benefits include how easy it is to hold and use. I really enjoyed using the app. I also like that it has a microcurrent and a nano current. So sorry, NuFace, you are done. If you already have the nano device, do not rush out and buy a ZIIP Halo. I don't think it's going to be like, oh my gosh, I have to have that. It looks so much better. I think once your NuFace breaks, unless they bring out some new technology, then maybe change to the ZIIP Halo. But I wouldn't waste your NuFace if you already have it. This was gifted. That's why I'm making the switch. Serum-wise, obviously, if you want to do the cheaper one like I am, I'm going to stick to this. So it's going to save me money versus the NuFace ones, which are more expensive. They don't just have a cheap one just that conducts electricity. I also really like that the ZIIP Halo serum doesn't dry out whilst you're doing the treatment. So that's another pro for the ZIIP against the NuFace for me. Some of the cons are you can't manually adjust the intensity of your ZIIP Halo, whereas on the NuFace, some of them have the booster button on the Trinity. This doesn't. The treatment you choose will set the intensity for you. The ZIIP Electric Complex Conductive Gel also is really greasy. It's not a serum you're going to leave on and then do your makeup, unless you just want it to slide off and be a greasy mess. This one you definitely have to wash off. And the last downside for me is that it doesn't sync completely in time with the app. Some of the treatments finish early, some of the treatments finish late, but that's not a deal breaker for me. So these are my before and afters. You can decide for yourself whether it made a difference, whether it's worth it to you or not. I'm really happy with it. And I feel like anytime even if it's a placebo effect and it's something that's good for my mental health and it makes me happy and it makes me feel like I'm doing something beneficial to my skin, I'm going to stick to it because I am quite happy with the results. I'm happy with the glow I've got going on, especially as I started tretinoin, which is really drying on the skin. I was worried doing this and the LED mask could be more drying. So some of my tips before I go of getting the most out of your ZIIP Halo device is, and it's the same as I recommend doing with your NuFace device because neither of them have LED technology yet. I think NuFace is going to come out with one that has LED technology. I do my ZIIP Halo 5 times a week, And then if I'm doing it in the evening, maybe 3 times a week, I don't do it too often, is I'll then put on my current body red LED mask afterwards. That way I'm getting both the microcurrent, nanocurrent, and red light therapy all in one go. And I just feel like that's the way to maximize the treatment the most. So it's definitely not a replacement. It's not either or microcurrent, nanocurrent, or the LED mask. You do really need to be using both if you want to get the most benefits. Okay, I think I'm done with everything I wanted to tell you about the ZIIP Halo device. If I haven't covered it here, I will cover it in the blog review of this as well. I'm going to link the products, including the ZIIP Halo and all of the different serums and gels, in the description below, as well as the NuFace, in case you want to get your hands on those. There's really not a huge price difference between the two of them either. If you have your own experience with the ZIIP Halo or NuFace, or you've tried both, drop them in the comments below. I love hearing from you. If you have any questions I didn't answer and that aren't on the blog either, drop them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a quick thumbs up and subscribe.